call it the big time. Got your name in lights. Now you're gonna shine. Got them in your sights.
You're just trying to find a way out. I don't want to tell you how to live, but I just don't want you to miss. And I don't mean to scare you. I want you to live, and I dare you to give this life all you have. Yeah, all you have. Whoa, 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 don't miss, just make, don't get it twisted. We're on a mission to live life legendary. Yeah, we are legendary. We are legendary. We are not ordinary. We are legendary. You will remember our names. We are legendary. Living extraordinary. We are legendary. You will remember our names. Thin our blood. You're one of us. You're one of us. There's strength in our blood. You're one of us. You're one of us. We are legendary. We are not ordinary. We are legendary. You will remember our names. We are legendary. Living extraordinary. We are legendary. You will remember our names. You will remember our names. You will remember our names.
This is Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio.
From Fort Worth, Texas, and Arlington Heights High School, Mustang Baseball Live, presented by Tradio, is on the air. We're thrilled to have you wherever you might be. It is Game 2 of this tune-up series, non-district series between Arlington Heights at Grapevine, and the second game in as many days after a 6-1 win for the Mustangs in Grapevine yesterday. Michael Dixon alongside Jeff Knipper. Jeff, nice to be with you once again, and we'll start with a recap, not of yesterday, but of the season as a whole. A reminder that this game doesn't necessarily mean anything in terms of the district standing. That's already taken care of. Grapevine celebrated the district title, perfect 12-0 record. They hoisted that trophy yesterday, 27-3 in the regular season. But as we talked about yesterday, these wins still do matter. They still do count on that overall mark.
Yeah, the Mustangs sit at 27-3 right now, and Coach Webster talked about it in his interview. If they put on that Mustang uniform, they come ready to win. He did mention working in a few extra pitchers that maybe haven't seen a lot of action lately, but that doesn't mean they're conceding the game by any means. This Mustang team went undefeated in the district, and the last two district games, or certainly the last district game didn't mean anything, but that was a game that the Mustangs won going away 12-2 against Richland. So they'll come ready to play tonight and play well. And quite honestly, there's some guys in the lineup that would probably like to get their bats going again, because the Mustangs only had 7 hits last night. Only one guy in the lineup, Connor Ray, had a multi-hit game, and Connor had a big night, a home run, and drove in 2 runs. So he gets his bat heated up a little bit, but there's several guys in that lineup that I know would like to see some line drives come off their bat tonight and take some momentum into that playoff series next week.
Let's start quickly with Santi Montez yesterday. 4 innings, walked 3, struck out 9, gave up the run in the first, and then was good after that. It was an interesting outing for him because early on, command was an issue, and then he dialed that in. He had 6 consecutive strikeouts at one point, and then towards the end of his outing, command was an issue, but still 4 innings, struck out 9. 9 of the 12 outs he recorded were via the K.
Yeah, he only allowed 2 hits and had an uncharacteristic 3 walks and 4 innings of work, so certainly not his best outing, but we did hear, he hit 94 on the radar gun, had 9 strikeouts in 4 innings, and only allowed those 2 hits. So, had dominant stuff, just had a little bit trouble locating it. And then Jack Swinson comes in behind Santi and throws 3 scoreless innings. And he picked up a couple strikeouts and I believe only allowed 1 hit in his 3 innings of work. So a good job on the mound, just not quite as good as Santi's last couple outings had been.
And you already talked a little bit about it, but we'll go back. Connor Ray had the solo home run, no doubt about it. In that 3rd inning, he had 2 RBIs, reached all 3 times. It's just the same kind of stuff he's been doing all year long.
Yeah, that's a 6-hole hitter that comes out and now is tied with the home run lead at 3 with Lale and Zach Goldstein also have 3 home runs on the season. So, again, showing the depth in that Mustang lineup, hitting right behind Connor Ray, arguably one of the best statistic hitters on the Mustangs, Nomar Torres. He had a double last night, the only other extra base hit for the Mustangs.
And then also Jorvorskie Lane Jr. had the RBI single as part of that 1st inning. They did finally get him out. Remember, they couldn't solve him. Richland couldn't solve him on Friday night. Reached all 4 times. Grounded into the fielder's choice, but then walked and scored as part of that 2-run 5th inning. So, believe it or not, his on-base percentage last night was .500. That lowered his OBP over the last few weeks. That's how good he's been.
Yeah, we looked at that pregame yesterday. He had an on-base percentage over 700 in the last 6 outings and was batting .500 in that stretch as well. So, yeah, he's been on fire. Really seems like he's been on fire all of the district season. We've mentioned several times he didn't get off to the quickest start early season, but has certainly made up for it here in the last 12 to 15 games.
Well, let's focus in on Game 2 here tonight. It's an interesting game from the Arlington Heights perspective. We'll get into that in a moment. They've got a big one tomorrow against Pasco. For Grapevine, though, 27-3 overall, 12-0 in district. These are the last 2 games before the playoffs begin next week. And by the end of tonight, we'll know that opponent for Grapevine. It'll either be Fort Worth Brewer or Chisholm Trail. We'll talk you through those scenarios here throughout the night. But this is your last chance. You mentioned it from a lineup perspective. If you're a hitter and you're trying to find more barrels, this is your last chance to do so before you could face elimination in some of these games next week.
Yeah, the Mustangs may have some live hitting next week off some pitchers that maybe aren't expected to throw in the playoff series. But this is truly the last chance to see live pitching in a game that actually counts. So no doubt the hitters will be looking to get some things going tonight, and obviously we are the pitchers on the mound tonight. Vinny Slapa, he'll be looking to have a good outing, and we've seen a good bit of Vinny over the last month or so here. He's been one of the first guys out of the bullpen in these district games.
Yeah, we saw him last week against Richland, and he came on in relief of Luke Esquivel, who almost certainly will not pitch tonight. There is a chance we see him, but it's highly unlikely. Esquivel gave up earned runs for the first time all season in that outing against Richland. You talked about it. First man up out of the bullpen, Vinny Slapa, and he gave up a leadoff single, then followed that with a 6-4-3 double play. The next 4 hitters after that all retired in order with 3 strikeouts, so that's what he's done all year long.
Well, my thoughts on Luke, he's got nothing left to prove.
Yeah.
The coaching staff knows what Luke's going to bring to the table next week in the playoffs. We saw it all of last year in the playoffs. So I believe if we were going to see Luke tonight, he would be the starter. I think we're probably going to see Caleb Evans get an inning or 2 out of the bullpen. Your guess is as good as mine behind that. I thought maybe Lale might make an appearance because he did a lot of pitching last year in the playoffs, and quite honestly, pitched really well in the playoffs to help the Mustangs in a big way. Obviously, his bat was a big assist, but on the mound, he did a lot of great work down the stretch. Even though he wasn't called on a lot in the regular season, he was the first guy out of the pen, and he was kind of our closer in the playoff run.
Let's talk about the lineup quickly. Just about everything is the same, but in the DH spot, it's Andres Martinez. He did not play yesterday. It was Connor Godet who went 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch, struck out twice. So 1 through 9, pretty much the same, but there is a change there near the bottom.
Yeah, we've seen Andres Martinez swing the bat a fair amount this season, and I know he's over 300 on the season, has shown actually surprising power to left field at times, and he's a very adequate hitter. We know what he can do defensively. He's also a guy that can step in and play third base. He was the third baseman last year when actually, he was our third baseman early in this season when Lale would pitched. But he's played a little bit of second base, and we also seen him fill in left field.
And let's talk quickly about that game again last night. Grapevine gives up the run in the first, but then the Mustangs take care of business. They win it 6-1. Could have been a lot worse if you were Arlington Heights. Bases loaded, nobody out there in the second. Outside of that, though, Grapevine at the plate 6 times in 6 half innings last night. They scored in 4 of those. You had mentioned, obviously, it's a good sign when you're putting up those numbers consistently.
Yeah, that's what I liked last night, is just the persistence in getting on the scoreboard. Yeah, they didn't have a ton of hits. As a team, they had 7 hits, but they did draw 4 base on balls. So Soto also struggled some with his command. He hit a batter. So the Mustangs took what they got and also executed well. Twice in the first 3 innings, we had a runner at third base, less than 2 outs, and we got a sac fly out of Gianni, and I believe a sac fly out of
Luke had a sac fly, too,
Luke,
in that second inning. Yep.
Okay, so just great execution. When you get a runner on third base like that in less than 2 outs, to make sure you put that ball in play, and obviously a ball deep enough to the outfield. If you can't get a base hit, that's what you're looking for, is that sac fly. So productive at bats don't always mean a base hit.
Well, not to put you on the spot, but these teams played under similar circumstances last year. It was a non-district series, both of them trying to get a quality opponent outside of district play. What do you remember from those 2 games against Arlington Heights a year ago?
Well, they were tight, one-run ball games. The Mustangs were fortunate to come out on top, but low-scoring games, I think 2-1, 3-2, something like that, because the Heights had 2 guys that are now pitching at the college level this year. Very good fastball, guys hitting low 90s. So the Mustangs got to see some elite pitching going into the playoffs. And Coach talked about it. There was a big crowd out here for that series. It was a doubleheader we played here, and the stands were packed. I mean, he talked about it. It seemed like a playoff game, even though it really meant nothing to either team. I think the Mustangs were coming off a state championship. The Heights had a really strong team. Obviously, they're going to the playoffs this year, but last year they had more seniors on the team, and their overall record was definitely better. So they packed the stands, and it felt like a playoff game, which was another great prep for the Mustangs to play in front of a crowd like that and to pull out, two close wins like that. The confidence that it builds, it couldn't have been a more ideal setup for the Mustangs to enter the playoffs and start the playoff run that they went on.
Well, it's a traditionally rich program here at Arlington Heights. They've got Heights baseball and big block letters out there in center field. So when you show up here, you know exactly who you're playing. And it's Grapevine, it's Arlington Heights. Last night, Grapevine wins it 6-1, 6 runs, 7 hits, had the air left 5. Arlington Heights a run, 3 hits, no errors, 7 left. Santi Montez, 4 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. He walked 3, struck out 9. He picks up the win. Soto took the loss. I thought he pitched pretty well. The line wouldn't necessarily tell you that. 4 2/3, 5 hits, 6 runs, walked 4, struck out 5. But I was very impressed with his ability to get through that second inning when the Mustangs had the bases loaded, already a 2-1 lead, could have blown things open. And he found a way to give up just the 1 run. And Swinson pitched well in that game as well. This is game 2 of this 2-game non-district tune-up set. The Grapevine Mustangs and the Arlington Heights Yellowjackets. Grapevine this year 27-3, 12-0 in district. Arlington Heights 17-10-1. They played a very, very difficult tournament schedule. We talked to head coach Travis Rose about that yesterday, and 11-1 in district. So a lot of those wins for the Yellowjackets have come in the back half of the season. And, of course, we've discussed already the matchup with Pasco coming up tomorrow. That's a big one for playoff seeding. All right, we're getting set. It is game 2 of this tune-up set between the Mustangs and the Yellowjackets. We've got more coming your way next. This is Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio.
Thanks for watching Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio. We hope you are enjoying the game today. We have a goal to reach 20,000 subscribers by the end of the spring. We need your help to reach that goal. Please take the time now to like today's game and subscribe to our channel so you can be notified when other content such as highlights is being released. These metrics on YouTube allow us to use new capabilities and continue to evolve your experience watching. Tradio began with Mustang Baseball Live in 2017, and we are here today because of you. We are grateful for your support. Be sure to share this game with your friends and family. Go Mustangs!
Back here from the western side of Fort Worth, Michael Dixon, Jeff Knipper on Mustang Baseball Live, presented by Tradio. It is Grapevine. It is Arlington Heights in game number 2 of this 2-game set as these teams get ready for the playoffs. For Grapevine, last game before the playoffs begin next week. Again, it'll be either Granbury or check that. It'll be either Fort Worth Brewer or Chisholm Trail, depending on the outcome of Granbury and Chisholm Trail a little bit later on tonight. That was a good one on Tuesday, by the way. Chisholm Trail won that 2-1 at home. So if you were looking for a prediction, if you will, from a game like that. We have no idea who might win between Chisholm Trail and Granbury tonight. And, of course, the outcome of that game is entirely, or the Mustangs will be very interested in the outcome of that game, knowing that their playoff opponent comes from the outcome of Granbury and Chisholm Trail. On the flip side, though, Jeff, we learned when we got here today, Arlington Heights 11-1 in district, but tied with Pascal, also 11-1. Both those teams won against the other, and so they got to play for playoff seeding tomorrow.
Yeah, that's we were talking before the game. I'm sure that the Heights didn't anticipate playing a Saturday game behind this Thursday-Friday series, but that's exactly what's going to happen. And as we'd also learned, that game has a not so much in the first round, but that game has a huge importance as to who has to play most likely Aledo in the second round. And we know Aledo is one of the top teams in the state. So interesting if there's any thinking about, how do you dodge Aledo that early in the playoffs in tomorrow's game, because that it won't affect their first round opponent, but it most likely determines who plays Aledo in the second round.
Well, we have a few moments here before the teams take the field and we get set for the second game of this non-district matchup. So we have an opportunity to discuss the C.J. Knipper Memorial Golf Tournament. Of course, something that you're highly involved with, very close to your heart, and details and awards from this year.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Michael. Monday night, we awarded 2 more scholarships at the Senior Awards Night. We awarded $2,500 scholarships to Sofika Malashak and Rayleigh Serpanya. They are Grapevine High seniors, active in DECA. Both of them are going to UT. They're going to major in engineering. I know they're going to do great things in the future and make us proud as recipients of the scholarship. And we still have another scholarship to award to one of the University Prep students in the DECA program. So looking forward to that. Our golf tournament, which allows us to fund those scholarships, and we've now awarded $60,000 in scholarships since 2020. So proud of what we've been able to do in CJ's memory, and remember CJ in that way. And then the golf tournament that allows us to make that happen. That'll be Friday, October 16th. We're currently scheduled for Fossil Creek. Heard some sketchy details about the condition of their greens, so I'm going to do a site inspection here in about a month, because getting some scary reports about some sand greens out there in Fort Worth. But we are set for Friday, October 16th, and I don't know if we want to go to the ceremony on the field here. We're going to recognize the 1966 Yellowjackets squad that made it to the state semifinals, I believe.
1966 team celebrating the 60th anniversary. We welcome the 1966 team and learn about their magical season. Please turn your attention to home plate.
Good evening. My name is Vinny, and it was my honor to serve as a baseball team back in the day. And it is my privilege to speak to recount a bit of AHHS baseball history. 60 years ago, in 1966, the AHHS Yellowjacket baseball team had a remarkable run. It was a senior-heavy group that was poised for success, especially after going 12-2 in 3 season games. However, first half of district play resulted in only 2 wins against 4 losses. Second half was a different story. The Yellowjackets won 5 of 6 and forced a 3-game playoff with Eastern Hills to determine the district title and moved on to play Dallas Samuel in my district. Samuel had won the 4A state championship the previous year, and Heights coach Merlin Purdy respectfully referred to Samuel's ace as the human howitzer, a pitcher who later was taken in the first round of the 1966 MLB draft, only 7 spots behind Reggie Jackson. Heights prevailed, taking the first game 3-1 and the second 4-1 in a 10-inning nail-biter. An undefeated Marshall team was up next in regional play. Heights grabbed the first game in Fort Worth 4-0, then ventured deep into East Texas with high hopes. Game 2 went into extra innings with neither team having scored. Heights' second sacker, Mike Riley, tripled into the left field corner in the top of the 8th and scored on a pass ball. This paved the way for the trip to the state tournament in Austin. The first such opportunity for a team ever from Arlington Heights. The formula that has carried the team thus far, solid defense, great pitching, timely hitting, was absent as they dropped games to San Antonio Piper and Odessa Marine. It was nonetheless a great experience that has spawned lifetime friendships. Later that same summer, the core of this team went on to play in Tommy Mack World Series in Arlington, New Mexico. Unfortunately, the opposite prize was not to be claimed. Most of the starters on the 66 team went on to play ball in college, including 2 who were drafted but opted not to sign. And even after all these years, a bunch of them still get together for barbecue at lunch, and they refer to themselves as the Great Weezer Baseball Reunion. Now we meet this team. Okay. Catcher, Ted Fay. Pitcher, Jerome Hall. Eddie Stevens. And Earl Wallace. First base, Randy Ray. Second base, Mike Riley. Shortstop, Pat Amos. Right fielder, Roger Williams, who at the last minute was not able to attend. And then our reserves are Richard Cather, Red Robert is not able to be here, and Ab Jenkins. Sadly, 3 of the starting team members passed away over the intervening years. Outfielders Mike Horn and Victor Kelly, and most recently third baseman Jack Bertrand, who is beloved Washington Redskins. So the guys have asked me to express their appreciation to Coach Rose for allowing them in this moment of recognition. And we give a tip of the cap tonight to the opposing team's Grapevine, a team that went to Austin last year and brought home the state championship. How about a big round of applause for all the guys on the field and in the dugout?
Now for the ceremonial first pitches, please welcome the Jackets pitching staff from 1966. These 3 gentlemen pitched every single inning for Arlington Heights in 1966. Joining us on the mound are Jerome Hall, Eddie Stevens, and Earl Wallace. Gentlemen, when you are ready, let's do it. starting lineups. First, for the Grapevine Mustangs, Grapevine. Leadoff, left fielder, number 1.
All right, well, that was quite well done, I must say. They honored the 1966 Arlington Heights baseball team with basically a full oral history of what that team accomplished 60 years ago. 11 of the 18 players still around and able to attend tonight's game, and they have 3 of the players who pitched every inning that year for Arlington Heights throughout the first pitch. That was well done. I knew that they were going to do something. I had no idea what they were planning, but I was quite impressed with the little ceremony they just had for them.
Well, before we got started, I noticed down in the dugout there were some guys wearing yellow jerseys that we didn't see last night. And I thought maybe Coach Rose picked up some new players, but it was that 1966 squad that was being recognized tonight. And interestingly, I never could pick up the name, but the lady that introduced him said there was a player on that team drafted in the first round in that year, and looked back at the draft in that year, and Reggie Jackson was the number 2 pick in that draft. Hard to believe that Reggie Jackson has been out of high school for 60 years, because I remember watching him in the World Series, Mr. October.
I do think she was talking about a pitcher that they played against, who was drafted 7 spots behind from Samuel High School, but it was Mike Biko. Not sure if I have the pronunciation correct there, B-I-K-O, but he was drafted 9th overall. Yes, Reggie Jackson went 2nd overall that year. So, again,
maybe that's the kid that beat him in the playoffs.
It could have been, yeah. That's part of the full oral history that she provided. That was really cool. They had him line up down the first base line, as those who are watching the stream were able to see and probably hear pretty clearly as well. They did a very good job honoring that 1966 Heights team. But if you grew up around here like I did, Arlington Heights, it's a program to be reckoned with and a program that has a lot of history.
Well, every time we come out here to play a ball game, I look at the high school and think we're still in the 60s. The school has that look of just a traditional high school that I'm sure they've had to renovate some, but the structure of the building still probably looks like it did in 1966. Mustang have quite a tradition in Grapevine, but I don't think that school necessarily looks like it did 60 years ago. This high school does. I doubt they had AstroTurf back in 1966.
Probably not, but they have an infield turf. That outfield is still grass, so we'll talk a little bit more about that as the game progresses tonight. Not sure how deep it is to straightaway center. I would guess somewhere around 400, 365 to the alleys. 330 down the lines. This appears to be a symmetrical ballpark. But kind of what you just said with regards to the high school, it has an older style feel to it. And I've driven by this high school many, many times. Never have I been to this stadium. All right, we're set for Game 2 of this non-district matchup. Grapevine and the Arlington Heights Yellowjackets. First pitch next. This is Mustang Baseball live on Tradio. All right, we are ready to go. Mustang Baseball live on Tradio, Grapevine, and Arlington Heights. Live from Arlington Heights High School on the western side of Fort Worth. Michael Dixon, Jeff Knipper, our entire Tradio crew, thrilled to be with you on this Friday evening. It is a sunny Friday evening. The sun's kind of beating us down off and to our right. It casts a pretty gnarly shadow into the right field corner, so you might have to bear with us through the first few innings here tonight. Rodrigo Perez is on the mound. We'll meet him in a second. First up, the Grapevine lineup. Luke Esquivel in left field leads off. Zach Goldstein in center, bats second. Jorvorskie Lane Jr., the right fielder, hitting third. Lale Esquivel at third, cleaning up. Gianni Corral catching, batting fifth. Connor Ray, the shortstop, bats sixth. Nomar Torres, the first baseman, bats seventh. Andres Martinez DHs and bats eighth. Will Newton, the second baseman, batting ninth. And Jeff, we talked about it off the top, but the one change, Andres Martinez DHing. Vinny Slapa on the mound. He is not in the lineup, so Connor Godet, who DH'd yesterday, is off here tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned the field dimensions, and we do have numbers out on the left field and left center wall, but there's not numbers out in right center and down the line in right, and I actually think it pinches in right
you might
field.
Be right.
It's a little bit shorter out there, which is why they have an extended fence to protect it a bit. My guess would be it's probably only about 315 down the right field line, probably about 340 in the gap in right field. That's why they've extended that fence out there to make it a little tougher to clear it. We saw the Mustangs hit a couple off the wall, at least one. We know Connor Ray hit a ball off the wall here last year.
The final toss for Rodrigo Perez comes in with a 4-1 record, 40 and 2/3 innings, 26 hits, 10 runs, 7 earned. He walked 11, struck out 29. Head coach Rose told us that he's not going to light up the radar gun that we have, but what he will do is pitch. He's a crafty kid, crafty right-hander, and he starts for Arlington Heights here tonight. Game 2 of this tune-up set, and the Mustangs up next have that state title defense beginning in the playoffs, first round of them. And now we'll have to wait just a little while longer. And Luke Esquivel stands in.
Yeah, those numbers for Perez are impressive. Obviously, the strikeout total isn't high, but the 7 earned runs in about 40 innings of work, that's under a 2 ERA by my math.
Well, first pitch is high to Luke Esquivel. We are underway at 7:18, 84 degrees here in Fort Worth. And now a ground ball pulled right side, and it's knocked down by the second baseman Reyes with a throw to first. And it looks like Esquivel is safe. It is tough to see for us right now with the shadows there. Off towards the second base side.
Oh, he's going to second. There's no one on the bag.
There he goes.
Wow.
So Luke Esquivel reaches on a base hit that he pulled on the right side of the infield. It got past the dive of Morris. Not sure if the second baseman Reyes got there to knock it down, but heads up base running, and now he's in scoring position.
That ball was very similar to the single we got in the first inning yesterday. I wonder if the second baseman shifted a little bit to get to that ball, even though he didn't get the out. He did cut it off.
Well, Goldstein punches a bunt. That is grabbed by Perez off the mound. He looked at third and then to first and then ended up throwing, but it was too late.
He had nobody to throw to. The second baseman was not on the bag. He was too far away and just couldn't get there.
You know, back-to-back singles to begin things for the Mustangs. They've got him on the corners with nobody out for Jorvorskie Lane Jr. This is a great start for Grapevine with the playoffs beginning next week. Last chance to get some live reps like this. And they'll try to make it 3 straight against an opponent to be determined. First pitch, and called a strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, you can see the catcher set up out there, and Perez hit his spot. Definitely trying to work Jorvorskie away.
Well, Jorvorskie Lane Jr. yesterday 1 for 2, had an RBI, scored a run, walked as well.
Jorvorskie's got power to right field, so he can drive it that way.
Another confident take up and in. That's something we talked about last night. You can really tell when a guy is dialed in and seeing it well, not necessarily by the swings, but the pitches they don't swing at, the takes that they have. And whether it's low and away, whether it's up and in, whether it's just above the zone, it feels like Jorvorskie Lane Jr. has a great idea of exactly where that pitch will be.
Yeah, I like this view. We can see the arm side tail on that pitch. So he's got movement, Perez that is.
Well, this one just a little bit high. 2 balls and 1 strike. They're on the corners with nobody out here in the top of the first. Grapevine winning 6-1 at home yesterday. And Arlington Heights playing tonight also with a big game against Pascal tomorrow. Hitters count 2-1. Making 3 balls and a strike, and Perez in danger of loading the bases with nobody out. Esquivel at third, Goldstein at first.
You mentioned the shadows, and the shadows come a little bit in front of the mound, so the ball is kind of coming out of the shadow into the light for the hitter. Maybe a bit of a factor, at least for the first inning or so.
Goldstein goes for second. The pitch is high, and so there is no throw necessary. Wouldn't have mattered. And Jorvorskie Lane Jr., who has been an on-base machine throughout district play, is aboard yet again, and the bases are loaded with nobody out for Lale Esquivel, who would like to forget yesterday 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts, though one of those strikeouts came when it was 6-1 and it was late and it felt like the strike zone was expanding a little bit.
Yeah, Lale is one of the guys I was thinking about that would like to heat it up here in this last game before the playoffs.
First pitch is well outside from Rodrigo Perez. You mentioned the numbers for Perez, obviously very good, but in that district, quite a bit different than the lineup that you'll face against Grapevine here tonight. There is not an easy out. 1 through 9.
Yeah, he's probably trying to be a little too fine right now. He's afraid to really go at him.
Now there's a strike on the outer half. Again, velocity is not his MO. He's pretty crafty with how he navigates hitters. That has a jam to work out of here. Bases loaded, nobody out, top of the first inning. And now he steps off to cycle through the signs perhaps and actually chat with his catcher Vargas. Defensively for Arlington Heights, Vargas behind the plate, Soto at third, Hernandez at short, Reyes at second, and Mortis at first. Calvillo at in left field, Arguello in center, and Tristan in right. Quick conversation between Perez and Vargas. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Lale Esquivel. 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts last night.
Yeah, I noticed the first and third baseman for the Heights are going to play on the grass, try and cut that run down at the plate. In the middle, they're going to play back, try and get 2 and give up a run for 2 outs if they can get a ground ball.
Ball and a strike, nobody out. And now Perez once again steps up. Not a very big kid, standing center of the mound there. And a 1-1. Just outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. It was bases loaded, nobody out in the second inning for Arlington Heights last night. I beg your pardon, for Grapevine last night. And Juan Soto did a heck of a job. Got through that, allowing just the 1 run. It came on the sac fly from Luke Esquivel. 2-1 pitch. That is ripped down the left field line. That is good for a base hit. Rolls into the corner. Esquivel in. Goldstein right behind him. Jorvorskie Lane Jr. holds up at third, but a 2-run double for Lale Esquivel. And Grapevine on top. 2-0 here in the top of the first.
Yeah, I'm sure that felt good off Lale's bat right there. Perez had to come in, and Lale didn't miss it.
So Lale Esquivel hitless yesterday, a couple of strikeouts, but already a double and 2 RBIs here tonight. And you would love to see that if you are head coach Webster in the third base dugout. Bases loaded, nobody out yesterday, scoring just the 1 run. You'd like a lot more than that. You get the big hit here tonight, and still plenty of damage can be done. Gianni Corral. And he lines
another
this in the
base
left
hit.
center field. That'll get down. That'll score 2 more. Jorvorskie Lane Jr. is in. Esquivel right behind him. Corral back to the bag at first. He's in safely. It's a 2-run single. The first 4 reach, the first 4 score, and Corral makes it 4-0 Grapevine here in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, I saw the catcher Vargas give a signal to the coach that the balls are up. But honestly, when the Mustangs can sit fastball like that, they're not going to miss balls coming in at this velocity.
4 hits in the inning. The first 2 didn't leave the infield, but Esquivel and Corral each found the barrel, drove in 2. 4 runs have scored. Here's Connor Ray with a runner on first, nobody out. Grapevine up big in the first. Ray takes a strike on the outside corner. Connor Ray was big last night, 2 for 2 with a home run. Had 2 RBIs, walked, scored twice.
Yeah, both of Connor's hits last night, he did pull the ball, and looks like they're going to work him away and force him to go the other way. Well, there's another one to right field.
That rips this down the right field line. Runner goes first to third. Throw now down to second base, and Connor Ray is in there safely. So he's got a double. And 2 more in scoring position with nobody out, already 4 runs in. Here comes Nomar Torres.
Yeah, you really couldn't draw up a better start for the Mustangs. Nobody out, and the first 4 hitters score, and still guys out there at second and third with nobody out. Mustangs looking to bury them early tonight.
Torres takes just outside for ball 1. Well, it was a 2-run first inning last night. RBI single from Jorvorskie Lane Jr. and Corral had a sac fly. They added a run on the sac fly in the second. So steadier drip though yesterday. This is all coming at once tonight. 2 balls and no strikes to Nomar Torres. Torres had a double in that first inning, or shall I say in his first at-bat, came in the second inning. He had the 3-run double against Richland on Friday night a week ago in the final district game. And Perez back in the count, 2-1. It was 6 runs on 7 hits for Grapevine last night. Already 4 runs on 5 hits without an out recorded here tonight.
Good chance to match that run total in the first inning tonight.
2-1. And that's
another
ripped
base hit.
over the leap of the shortstop Hernandez in the left center field. 2 more score. Connor Ray right behind Kircher, and it's a 2-run double for Nomar Torres. 6-0 Grapevine in the top of the first.
Torres had an RBI double to right center last night, went to left center with that one, and he just hits a lot of balls hard. I really love his approach at the plate, and probably leads the team in hard hit balls off exit velocity. The barrel rate. Not sure the current acronym for that, but
Hard hit balls. We'll
There
call
we
them
go.
that. How about that? Well, a visit to try and settle Perez down. This has been a tough way for him to start. I don't know if you would really fault Arlington Heights for looking ahead a little bit, because, yes, you'd like to play well against a contender like Grapevine, but you've got a huge game tomorrow in the context of playoff standing. 11-1 Arlington Heights during the district season, and Pasco went 11-1 as well. Those two have to play one game to figure out who gets the higher seed.
that's a great point. You probably need to hold some guys back for tomorrow's game, because in the big picture it seems certainly more important than this game.
Well, 6-0 here in the first. And a bunt attempt from Martinez fouls it back to the screen. 6 runs on 6 hits here in this first inning. And Nomar Torres with a 2-run double stands at second. Here's the 0-1.
Got hit him.
Ran in, it hit him. So it's a dead ball. We'll have to put Torres back at second base. But Martinez hit by the pitch, and now the first 8 Mustangs have reached. Martinez did not play yesterday. He checks in the same spot that Connor Godet had in last night's game, DHing batting 8th. So hit by a pitch. He's at first, 2 on, nobody out, 6 runs in. And here's Will Newton, 1 for 3 with a strikeout last night. Tough lefty.
Yeah, Will had that single off the pitcher's cleat last night.
A really long hold from Perez. Newton tries a bunt. It's a good one. Grabbed by Perez. Off the mound, a throw to first. And did they get the out? Looks like they did. But a good bunt laid down by Will Newton, the sac bunt. Moves 2 more to scoring position. And that's the first out here in the first inning, but an RBI chance for Luke Esquivel, who began all this with a single. Came around to score a little bit early in this top of the first. So Torres at third and Martinez at second. First base is open. Esquivel 2 for 3 now against Arlington Heights this week. And he pops this up. Right side of the infield. Reyes at second, coming in on the turf. And he makes the catch for out number 2. So maybe that'll help Perez settle down just a little bit. It is a turf infield. And I'd say, what about the first 10 or so feet beyond what would be the infield dirt, but is instead turf. That is also turf until it gives way to grass in the outfield and down the lines. So Zach Goldstein up for the second time in this first inning. He singled and scored. 6-0, Grapevine leading.
The shadows have pretty much consumed all of the infield now, which actually might make it a little easier to hit. Of course, you couldn't convince the Heights that the Mustangs are having any trouble hitting because of shadows, but that ball's not coming out of the shadow into the light. Now it's just a shadow from the mound to the plate.
And this is ripped over to second, but a chest tie pick by Reyes. And he flips over to first, but it's not in time. And Torres scores with Martinez going to third. Boy, this has been a nightmare inning for the fundamentals, especially defensively for Arlington Heights, because Reyes and Morris on the right side of the infield just got caught up in between.
Yeah, Morris thought he had a play on the ball, so he broke for it. Realized he couldn't get to the ball, but he was late getting back to the bag, and the second baseman had to wait on him. He had the ball and plenty of time to get the out, but just, again, didn't have anyone to throw to.
So it's 7-0. Runner at third. They're actually on the corners, and this is ripped, but right at the shortstop, Hernandez. He flips to Reyes. That will end the inning. But the Mustangs score 7 times with 7 hits. They leave 2. And we head to the bottom of the first. It's Grapevine 7 and Arlington Heights coming up. This is Mustang Baseball live on Tradio. Well, Grapevine leads this 7-0 as we go to the bottom of the first. Yeah, Vinny Slapa on the mound and staked to quite the lead. Left-hander out there to face Hernandez, Arguello, and Reyes at the bottom of the first. 7 runs, 7 hits for the Mustangs in the top half. First pitch. Fastball runs high. Hernandez, the shortstop, really good hitter, hitting at 360 this year. He was 1 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts in the leadoff spot yesterday. 1-0 pitch. And it's high, 2 balls and no strikes. So now the question, if you're Vinny Slapa, is you go through your pregame routine, you get ready, you get amped up, and then you stand in the dugout for 15 minutes while the Mustangs put up 7 in the top of the first. Might take you a second to get your feet back under you.
Yeah, hopefully he maybe threw a few pitches over in the bullpen just to get loose again. Did find the strike zone right there. Make it a 2-1 count.
22 innings this year, 33 strikeouts. That is his bread and butter. And first pitch lifted in the air to Esquivel. Beg your pardon. It's the 2-1. He's still going back, twisting and turning, and he makes the catch.
Yeah, that ball was pretty well hit. And I mentioned last night how shallow the Mustang outfielders have been playing. So Luke had to go back at least 50 feet to get that ball. And that ball almost made it to the wall. The wind when we got here looked like it was blowing in from right, but now it's kind of laid down, and that ball, I think, surprisingly carried better than Luke thought. Probably going to take a step back from where he was, but he's still pretty shallow.
First pitch outside from Slapa. Yeah, the wind has quieted down. The flags that are behind those sitting in the bleachers were blowing out towards left center about an hour ago. There's a ground ball left side off the glove of Lale Esquivel and into shallow left. So it's a single for Arguello. Had a hit last night, but as the sun disappears, the wind appears to be doing the same, and a majority of the surface is now shaded. The exception right now is out there at left, where Luke Esquivel had the adventurous first out here in this first inning. So 1-on-1 out here is Reyes, 7-0 Grapevine in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, Luke's in the one part of the field where there is still some sun.
Yep.
And he's got his shades on. Everybody else is pretty much in the shade.
Well, Reyes, a couple of walks, struck out last night. 0 for 1 in the game. Grapevine won that 6-1. They're up 7-0 in the first inning here tonight. 0-1. Fastball high and away from Slapa. Again, Grapevine will play Fort Worth Brewer if Chisholm Trail beats Granbury tonight. Chisholm Trail and Granbury are playing in the district finale. And if Chisholm Trail wins that, it'll be Fort Worth Brewer. If Chisholm Trail loses, that will be Grapevine's opponent next week. 1-1, missed outside, 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, I'd peek back at last year's playoff schedule, and we opened with Brewer last year. We won game 1, 7-3. I do remember, though, Brewer had a pretty good squad. The second game, they played tight. We won that game 9-7. That was 12 innings. Yeah, thank you, Trey, for that reminder. My bad. We won that game 8-7. So, yeah, they gave us all we wanted in that game too. I remember being impressed with. Oh, that's right. That was Coach Webster waved in the winning run from from his bottom side. We were playing that game at Richland.
Swinging a miss, 3-2 from Slapa to Reyes.
Yeah, that was quite an entertaining finish to that game. But yeah, Brewer. I was impressed with their squad. I don't know how many of those guys will be back this year. That's a base hit.
That pulled through the left side between Esquivel and Ray. So back-to-back singles with one out for Arlington Heights. That'll bring up Juan Soto, who pitched for the Yellowjackets last night on the mound. 4 2/3. He gave up 5 hits, 6 runs, walked 4, struck out 5. And at the plate 0 for 3. 287 hitter on the year. 2 on and only 1 out, but a lot of work for Heights to do it 7-0. And a breaking ball fouled off by Soto, 0-1. We have not yet seen a strikeout from Slapa, but that is his bread and butter. Lefty with a 2.54 ERA coming in, a 1.22 whip, but 33 strikeouts in 22 innings. That is a significant number.
Yeah, I got to admit, when we looked at those numbers pregame, that surprised me a little bit. I knew Vinny had done a good job getting guys on the strikeout, but I didn't even realize he was striking out a batter and a half per inning. And you see that good breaking pitch right there. That's probably his best pitch. It's got a late break on it, and when he keeps it down, gets a lot of swing and misses like that.
Well, it's a pretty heavy breaking ball, and we've seen a lot of fastballs early. So trying to use that fastball against Hernandez, Arguello, and Reyes, and back-to-back off-speed pitches. Yeah, 2 strikes on Soto. 2 on, 1 out. And fouls this back. Do it again, 0-2. It is Luke Esquivel in left, Goldstein in center, Jorvorskie Lane Jr. in right. Lale is at third, Ray is at short, Newton at second, Torres at first, Corral is catching. Same defensive lineup that the Mustangs had in last night's 6-1 win.
Yeah, Soto is their cleanup hitter. I really feel like Luke, okay, we're getting him in a pickle right here.
Yep, took off early. They've got Arguello caught up between second and third. And Arguello's tagged out. Quick throw back towards second base. And Reyes slides in head first. So they do get the lead man in Arguello. It's good base running by Reyes to take the extra 90 feet while Arguello was caught up. But he's caught stealing. And I would just imagine that, again, the outcome of this game means nothing. And if you're Arlington Heights, you've got a big game looming tomorrow. But just the fundamentals have not been there in the first inning, and I would guess that head coach Travis Rose probably isn't too thrilled about that. We saw some defensive miscues in the top of the first, and then a base running blunder here at the bottom of the first for a team that is their bread and butter.
Well, we talked about it last night. I don't think they tried to steal a base last night. That runner at second definitely was going to try, and he broke on first movement and guessed wrong. But I started to say I'm surprised by how shallow Luke is still playing. This is the cleanup hitter for the Yellowjackets. I would show him a little bit more respect.
Fouls this back. Give Soto credit. He's done a good job of staying alive in this at-bat. Fell behind early.
Yeah, Vinny led him off with 2 curveballs, but has showed him 2 pretty good fastballs that Soto's fouled off.
1-2. Good take by Soto. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He is making Slapa work here in the bottom of the first, trying to post a scoreless frame after a 7 spot from Grapevine in the top half.
I think that was actually a straight change right there that Vinny just missed a spot.
Well, there's the breaking ball again, and Corral kept that in front. Full count now. Reyes is dancing at second base. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. That sun is finally disappearing, making things much easier to see for us. It was a tough first inning, Jeff.
Yeah, I was able to take my shades off, but Luke still got his shades on out there and left.
2-2. Now back. Beg your pardon, the count is full. I'll join you. I'll do the same. I'll take mine off.
A little surprised they haven't cut the lights on yet. It's
I was just thinking the same thing.
7:45. They must be a lot quicker than the lights I remember not here, but in an older ballpark. Those took about 30 minutes to warm up.
What a battle here between Soto and Slapa. Yeah, these do not appear to be those LEDs that just flick on in an instant. It looks like they're the old style lights, so they will have to fire them up as the shadows have enveloped just about every part of the playing surface now. Full count, here's the pitch. Inside, ball 4, and a break for Reyes to third. Throw down, he's safe. So heads up base running. That is one heck of a walk from Juan Soto. He fell behind 0-2 on a couple of breaking balls and kept himself alive. A 2-out walk to keep his first inning alive, and they're on the corners for Cole Morris.
Yeah, that was a good at bat. Fouled several pitches off and just made Vinny work, and eventually Vinny missed the strike zone with that 3-2 pitch.
First pitch off speed, outside, ball 1. Morris, very good last night. 1 for 1, walked twice, had the only RBI for Arlington Heights. In fact, opened the scoring in that first inning, so trying to do the same thing here, though much different situation. That was the first run of the game last night. Tonight it's 7-0 Grapevine. Fastball high, 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, the Heights jumped out to that 1-0 lead in the first inning, and I feel like that's the first time the Mustangs have been behind in a game in quite a while. Probably dating back to a Saturday game they played over a month ago.
Now Slapa steps and throws over to first base, and Soto's in safely. Well, Morris is showing a bunt. That'll, at the very least, pique the interest of Esquivel at third.
I suspect he's just trying to entice a ball out of Vinny. You normally wouldn't bunt with 2 outs.
Nope. 2-0. Swing it away, and Slapa gets the high strike call, 2-1. Well, Morris, one of the best RBI guys for Heights this year. And so fitting he had the lone RBI last night. 6-1 Grapevine won that. 7-0 Grapevine leading here at the bottom of the first tonight. And a throwback to first base where Soto is in safely. Two-1. Fastball high. 3 balls and a strike from Slapa to Morris.
You know, with 2 outs right here, I'd like to see Vinny just focus on the hitter. If Soto wants to run, let him run. Just focus on the hitter. Get this guy. They can't score without a hit.
Strike on the outside corner, 3-2. 2 outs.
Soto will be moving on the pitch right here, but don't worry about him over there at first base. The guy you need to worry about is at the plate.
Payout pitch. Swing and a miss. Slapa's first strikeout ends the first inning. And he elevates a fastball to get through Morris, who reached every time he was at the plate in yesterday's game. Good work done by Slapa. Faces a couple of, or gives up a couple of hits. Walks a batter, but the Yellowjackets strand 2. We go to the second. Grapevine leading 7-0 here in Fort Worth. This is Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio. Lale Esquivel leading off here in the second. 7-0. 7-0. Grapevine leading after a 7 spot in the first. And defensive change, I believe Harris takes over at first for Arlington Heights.
Yeah, Lale got the scoring started in the first inning with that RBI double down the line, the left field line.
Rodrigo Perez back out after that long first inning, and strike one on the outer half. Lale Esquivel, as you mentioned, 2-run double. There were 3 different hits in that first from Grapevine, scoring multiple runs. Esquivel had the double, and then after that, Corral with a 2-run single. Later on in the inning, Nomar Torres a 2-run double. So the runs came in bunches in that first inning. Lights are on. Fired on pretty quickly.
Yeah, they definitely did.
1-1. Slow it away to Lale Esquivel. Seven runs on 7 hits for Grapevine. No runs on 2 hits for Arlington Heights. 2-1. And he missed outside. 3 balls and a strike. Esquivel, Corral, and Ray. That is 4, 5, and 6 coming through here in the second inning. It is a pleasant evening, though. The sun has basically completely disappeared behind the school in the trees. And a 3-1, just a little bit low. Lale Esquivel pretty confident that that was ball 4. And he walks to begin the second inning. It's the second walk allowed by Perez tonight. And one on, nobody out here is Gianni Corral. 2-run single as part of that 7-run first.
Yeah, I remember when we were here last year, we broadcast the game from the right field line, and we started a lot earlier because we played a doubleheader. It was pretty toasty out there.
There's a sharp ground ball, and past Soto at third down the line. Lale Esquivel stops at second base, but that was ripped by Gianni Corral, who's 2 for 2 now tonight. 2 on, and nobody out. And this inning starts in a very similar fashion to the way the first inning did. And Kircher comes on to courtesy run for Corral. So 2 on, nobody out. Here's Connor Ray.
Yeah, Connor's now got hits in his last 3 at bats, so see if he can keep that streak going.
First pitch. And it hits the upper third of the zone, 0-1. Yeah, double run scored in the first. 7-0, the Mustangs lead, looking for more on this Friday night in Fort Worth. Nomar Torres is on deck. This is fouled back to the screen. Perez quickly jumps ahead, 0-2. I think the good news if you're Perez, and specifically Arlington Heights, when you need him to pitch in the playoffs, the lineup he'll face won't quite be as good as the one he's trying to work through tonight. Two on, nobody out, 2 strikes to Connor Ray. And he spoils this foul into the Heights dugout, first base side. These are about as deep as dugouts get, Mr. Knipper. Went down there to get the lineup a little bit earlier today, and there is a long, long way between the dugout rally and the back end of the dugouts.
Yeah, I see at least 3 steps, so there is quite an elevation change.
Sharp ground ball, fair down the right field line into the corner. This will go for extra bases. Esquivel scores. Kircher held at third. It's a double for Connor Ray, the red-hot Mustang shortstop. 2 for 2, couple of extra base hits tonight. And he's got an RBI to make it 8-0 Mustangs here in the second.
Well, last night in the interview after the game, he talked about how he just prayed over his hitting. Some of the other Mustang hitters may want to know what prayer that was.
His bat is blessed right now. There is no question about that. First pitch. A little bit high ball 1-2. Nomar Torres. Kind of like Major League where you've got the charm that you're going up and down the bat with. 1 ball, no strikes here to Torres. 2-run double in the first. And he rips this into left center field. That's down for a hit. 1 run scores. And Ray right behind Kircher. 2 more RBIs for Nomar Torres. And the Mustangs lead at 10-0 here in the second. Well, maybe Torres is feeding off whatever is going right for Connor Ray. Those two have been fantastic tonight. In fact, how about the combination of Corral, Ray, and Torres now 6 for 6 with 3 doubles and 7 RBIs. It's the second inning. Still nobody out. And Andres Martinez was hit by a pitch his first time. Strike 1 at the belt.
Yeah, we featured Torres and Ray in one of our pregame Who's Hot graphics, and promptly kind of cooled their bats down, but they seem to have heated back up again here.
0-1. And that is fouled off Martinez's foot. A ball and a strike. Nobody out. Check that. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out. 10-0 here in the top of the second. They're giving Martinez an extra second.
Well, I see why Martinez, well, not why, but he does crowd that plate and got hit in his first at bat. Boy, he's right over that plate.
Well, they've taken very good care of us here at Arlington Heights, but we do have to peek around a pretty thick stanchion there for balls and strikes. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Low and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 7 in the first, 3 in the second. 10-0 Grapevine leading here in the top of inning number 2.
10 hits to go along with those runs. So they've done it with the bats. They picked up a couple of free passes, but have just been hitting the ball all over the yard here.
Here's a pitch. Called strike on the outside corner. So Perez picks up his first strikeout tonight. First out in this second inning. Torres still at first base. Has a 2-run single. He's got 4 RBIs tonight. And with 1 on 1 out here is Will Newton. Newton laid down a sac bunt his first time. First pitch. Sails high and away for ball 1. Well, I don't know how great the stats on Max Preps are, so if someone's listening to this and you know that they're wrong, I apologize. But for what I could find, Perez had given up 10 runs this year coming into tonight's game. He's given up 10, recording 4 outs, and a ground ball pulled past Harris at first and into right field. So Will Newton finds a hole. And with 2 on, 1 out here in the second, it is 10-0, and the carousel continues to move. The top of the order coming up, and I believe that's the end of the line for Rodrigo Perez. Visit out of the first base dugout. And indeed, they're going to take Perez out of the game. So a tough night for the kid, but this is a thick lineup, 1 through 9. And Grapevine flexing its muscle. 10-0 lead, a pitching change. We'll tell you more about who's coming in after this. This is Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio.
Okay, the new pitcher for the Yellowjackets is Ollie Norris. He's pitched 20 innings on the season. He's got a 3.09 ERA, got a really good whip ratio at .98. That whip ratio is outstanding. The earned run average is not bad either, averaging 7 strikeouts per 9 innings.
A ground ball over to second base. Nice scoop by Reyes to second for one. On to first. Low throw dug out. He's safe. Boy, they almost combined for a beautiful 4-6-3 double play, but Esquivel reaches on the fielder's choice. 2 down. Torres gets to third there on the corners. 3 runs in this second inning. 10-0. The Mustangs lead. Here comes Zach Goldstein.
Yeah, Luke hit that first pitch, which is not surprising because Norris throws a first pitch strike almost 60% of the time.
First pitch outside to Goldstein. Another 1-0. A little bit high, 2 balls and no strikes. You said it, the whip number, very good. Whip gives you a general idea of basically how many base runners per inning. Anything less than 1 is outstanding.
Yeah, he's only allowed 5 walks in 20 innings of work, so that certainly helps him keep that whip ratio down.
2-0. Popped up. Where is it? Who's going to grab it? Center field. Arguello coming in, and he makes the catch. That'll do it for Grapevine in the top of the second. But they score 3 more times on 4 hits, leave a pair, and after an inning and a half, the Mustangs lead at 10-0. This is Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio. Well, the Mustangs lead 10-0. We go to the bottom of the second. Vinny Slapa back out. First pitch, fastball, strike 1 on the outside corner to Matt Ramirez. DHing had a walk in yesterday's game. It'll be Ramirez followed by Tristan and Vargas, 6, 7, and 8.
You know, typically in a big lead like this, you'd say just go out there and throw strikes, Vinny. But that's not what the Mustangs need tonight. They need him to throw all of his pitches and to be effective and show them get ready for the playoffs. In another spot, you might say, hey, just go out there and throw fastballs. But he needs to use all his pitches and pitch like this is a must-have game.
Speaking of, that was a fantastic breaking ball.
And pitch like it's a 1-run game because that's the type of spots he's most likely going to face in the playoffs.
Ball and 2 strikes. Ramirez leading off, and now another big breaking ball swung on a miss. So Slapa finding his groove just a little bit. It was kind of a tumultuous first inning. Gave up singles to Arguello and Reyes, then walked Soto. But through all of that, you had a mistake from Arguello, who was caught between second and third for the second out of that inning. That made it much more manageable for Slapa. And then here in this second, he picks up where he left off the first. A strikeout of Morris to end the inning. Strikes out Ramirez to begin his second inning tonight. So here is Tristan, the right fielder.
Yeah, that was that nasty curveball that he got the strikeout on.
Well, first pitch strike there to Tristan, who struck out in his lone plate appearance last night. Came on in the 6th inning. And now another swing and a miss. 0-2.
Yeah, he's got that curveball dance, and we have a great view of it because we're right behind home plate up here in the press box. So we're seeing what the hitter's seeing, and he's definitely got him.
Well, that time a fastball blooped right side of the infield. Nice play made by Torres going back from first. So 2 quick outs in the second.
Yeah, good job right there by Nomar because nobody else is going to get to that ball.
When that breaking ball is as effective as it can be for Slapa, and then you have a little bit of velocity behind your fastball, you change the speed like that, and you could see on Tristan, it got in on him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's why he came into tonight with 33 strikeouts in 22 innings. You know, his fastball is around 86, probably tops out at 87, but you mix it in with that curveball, and it's tough.
Well, 2 outs and nobody on. Vargas from the left side, he fouls it back to the screen, 0-1. Vargas did not play in last night's game. Mustangs lead it 10-0 in the second. They scored 7 in the first and 3 in the second. They won it 6-1 last night.
Yeah, Vargas is catching tonight, and that's what I was curious when I looked at last night's box score. I couldn't find a catcher in the box score. I'm thinking maybe they DH'd for him.
Yes, they had Norris catching last night.
Okay.
And Cole Morris was DHing.
Yeah, Game Changer didn't have him listed because he wasn't hitting.
0-2. Breaking ball called, strike 3. It was dropped by Corral, and he'll throw on down to first. And a strikeout, 2-3 put out. So 3 up, 3 down in the second. 2 strikeouts for Slapa in the inning, 3 for the game. And we go to the third. Grapevine leading 10-0. This is Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio. Jorvorskie Lane Jr. leads off here in the third. 10-0. Grapevine leads, and on the first pitch, ground ball base into left field. So Ali Norris back out for his second inning of relief. And Jorvorskie now with a single and a walk in this game. He's 1 for 2. 10 runs on 12 hits for Grapevine. No runs, 2 hits for Arlington Heights. Michael Dixon, Jeff Knipper, our entire Tradio crew on a beautiful Friday evening from the western side of Fort Worth. Ali Esquivel now stands in. He was quiet last night, 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts tonight. 2-run double, a walk, 2 runs scored.
Yeah, I don't look for Jorvorskie to run here, and he didn't put on the mitt that they tend to wear.
Here's a soft ground ball, tough play. Second baseman charging Reyes, flipped to first, it's in time. Well, it's a productive out, moves Jorvorskie into scoring position. Esquivel, the first out here in the third.
Yeah, I think if we get a close-up of Jorvorskie, the mitt they wear actually is extended, and it doesn't have fingers like that. That's just a batting glove he's wearing. I'm fairly certain. The sliding, okay, maybe he'll get to home plate so we can settle this debate here in the press box.
I got to say, I think he's wearing the mitt. I think he's got the oven mitt at second.
Okay, well, he usually wears a white one that's much bigger. That, to me, looks like a batting glove.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. Big breaking ball called a strike. Well, here's Gianni Corral. He is 2 for 2. Only 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Connor Ray on deck, runner at second, 1 out, 10-0, top 3. One. Popped him up. Foul ground, first base side. Harris coming over. And I think he lost it in the lights, and it fell in foul ground.
Yeah, just
so
couldn't
it's a
find
foul
it.
ball. A decent amount of foul territory, I think, down the lines, especially into the corners here in or at Arlington Heights. Talked about the dugouts being as deep as I've ever seen dugouts. A lot of real estate there for the players to hang out in. Another chance for Corral. After a soft pop-up landed harmlessly foul. And now a ground ball over to third. Nice pick by Soto. Looks the runner back to second. Strong throw across. That is a very nice defensive play by last night's pitcher and tonight's third baseman. So Juan Soto retires Corral, and here comes Connor Ray with a runner at second, 2 down, and Norris trying to post a 0 for the first time in a Grapevine half inning tonight. 7 in the first, 3 in the second.
Well, let's see if Connor can extend it to 5 straight hits. Stretching back to last night's game.
Yep, 2 for 2 with a couple of doubles tonight. RBI run scored. Nomar Torres is on deck. Leadoff single on the first pitch for Jorvorskie. He's at second. And Grapevine trying to cash in on the leadoff single. 1 ball, no strike count to Connor Ray. And he fouls this back into the netting above the Grapevine dugout. A ball and a strike. What a pretty sunset off to our right. That sun was an enemy for the broadcast crew and the left fielders first inning. It has since given way, and it is a very nice evening on the western side of Fort Worth. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. Here's the pitch. Low and outside, 2 balls and a strike. They are honoring the 1966 Arlington Heights baseball team this evening. 60 years ago, They were runners up.
I don't think the jerseys they wore tonight were the same ones they wore back in '66.
Unless they had a box somewhere in the field house. It's missed inside to Ray. 3 balls and a strike.
Got him some new hats too.
Little Savannah Banana-esque
Yeah,
jerseys they're wearing.
The flat bill, I don't think the flat bill was in back in the 60s either.
3-1. Hit high in the air, over towards left center. Arguello back on the sprint. It's over his head, and this will roll all the way to the warning track. Lane Jr. scores. Ray going to third. He slides in with a 2-out RBI triple, and Grapevine leads it 11-0 in the third. He is 3 for 3 tonight with 2 doubles, a triple, 2 runs scored, and 2 runs driven in.
I was trying to remember if he had 2 doubles because I was thinking maybe he just needs a home run for the cycle, but he doesn't have that single yet either. Okay, so he might just need a home run for the cycle, and we know he's got the power to do that.
First pitch. And it's low ball 1 here to Nomar Torres. He's 2 for 2 with 4 RBIs tonight. So the combo of Ray and Torres, 5 for 5, 4 extra base hits, 6 RBIs and 3 runs scored. And this is hitting the air out
got
towards
under
left
a little
field.
too much to left
can't
fielder.
see it. He's still going. He's at the track, and it's off the base of the wall. Ray trots in. Torres into second. He's got a 2-out double, and the Mustangs now lead at 12-0 here in the third inning. And Torres is 3 for 3 with 2 extra base hits and 5 RBIs.
That ball got above the lights, and the left fielder lost
been tough,
it.
yes.
Quite honestly, I think if he had been able to track it the whole way, it's a play he should have made. But the ball got above the lights, and Trey, I don't see the up lights here. So what's the solution when it gets above the lights?
Well, it's been tough for the Arlington Heights fielders all night. I remember the final out of the third inning on a fly ball to center field. Arguello made the catch. He was coming in from center, but Reyes at second base looked up immediately with his arms outstretched to say, I don't know where the ball is. First pitch. And it's called strike 1 on the outer half. Martinez up for a third time. He's been hit by a pitch and struck out. And you had the pop-up in foul ground from Corral that Harris couldn't see at first. And that one, Calvillo in left, he didn't see it off the bat. Here's a blooper down the right field line. Tristan over near the line to make the play, and he can't get there. Torres around third. He scores. It's an RBI single for Andres Martinez, and Grapevine with 3 more in the third, now a 13-0 lead.
Okay, we're hearing there's a possibility of a run rule after the third inning.
It is 13-0. Got to be honest, I know the 10 after 5. First pitch, strike 1 at the belt of Newton. And I think it's 8 after 6. I'm not entirely sure. Nothing in 1, 2 outs, runner at first.
14 hits for the Mustangs. Got to be approaching a season high in that hits category. They've put up 13 quite a few times this season. At one point they had I believe a 4-game streak of putting up 13 runs.
This ball on the turf, late break, and Martinez on his way to second base. There's no throw. It got away from Vargas after he found it initially. So another runner into scoring position. 2 ball and 1 strike count, 2 outs, 3 runs in here in the third inning.
Yeah, about a month ago, they had a 3-game stretch where they put up 13 runs and then followed that up with a couple of 11-run outings and then went back to 13. So they've been at this number before.
Called strike on the outside corner. Newton in the game 1 for 1. He's singled, laid down a sac bunt. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 7 in the first, 3 in the second, 3 in the third. All Grapevine here in game 2 of this non-district matchup. Arlington Heights with a big one tomorrow against Pascal. 2-2. And popped foul. This will get out of play. We'll do it again. In your experience, does that make it easier to just brush this one aside, knowing that there wasn't a lot to play for here tonight? You do have a big game tomorrow?
Well, they definitely have to save the best pitching for tomorrow's game. You know, realistically, you can't hope to come back from 13 runs. The game was probably over in the first inning when the Mustangs put up 7. But, yeah, you try and take a positive away from the game. I mean, at this point, if they can just get on the board and that's going to get them out of the inning right there.
Nice play made by Soto going back from third and foul ground. And that ends it in the third. But 3 more runs, 4 more hits, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the third, 13-0. Grapevine leading Arlington Heights. This is Mustang Baseball live on Tradio.
Let's get an update on that Granbury Chisholm Trail game that means everything as far as the Mustangs' first round playoff opponent. We've got a tie ball game, 1-1. And you mentioned already, Michael, that Tuesday night's game was a 1-run ball game. Yeah, they're in the 6th inning in a 1-1 ball game. The top of the 6th inning, nobody on base. So we'll be tracking that game and seeing which, whether it be Brewer or Chisholm Trail that the Mustangs face in round 1.
Yeah, again, it's Brewer if Chisholm Trail wins. It's Chisholm Trail if they lose. 13-0 here as we go to the bottom of the third, and Slapa back out. First pitch high to J.D. Calvillo. Calvillo, Hernandez, Arguello. That is 9-1-2 here at the bottom of the third. Slapa has looked good since settling in. There's a good fastball. And that'll leave the count 1-1. It was a 7-spot at first, 3 in the second, 3 in the third. 13 runs for Grapevine as we play here at the bottom of inning number 3 from Arlington Heights High School. 1-1.
Oh, almost got the on-deck hitter right there.
Foul ball off to the first base side, 1-2. It was a good one between Chisholm Trail and Granbury a few nights ago, 2-1 final score. So figured coming into tonight we wouldn't be able to say this should happen. And there's strike 3 right down the middle. So Slapa has now retired 5 in a row, 4 of those via the K. And there's one away in the third. Here comes Jaden Hernandez.
Well, the scores of those ball games suggest that Chisholm Trail has some strong pitchers. I mean, you play a 2-1 ball game Tuesday night. You're in a 1-1 ball game tonight in the 6th inning. Maybe we do want to rematch with Brewer in round 1 and not have to face really tough pitching in round 1.
All right, here's a chopper to third, and Esquivel on the run. Strong throw across. Solid play made by Lale, and there are 2 down here in the 3rd inning.
Okay.
Number 2, Nomar, Arlington.
Arguello standing in and takes a pitch well outside for ball 1.
Number 2 at bat for the Yellowjackets.
Arguello.
He's
1 for 1 in this game.
I believe he had a hit last night as well.
Missed inside. Slapa behind 2-0. Looking for a second straight 1-2-3 inning. And now a soft liner out to second. Newton grabs it on a hop, throws to first. And 7 straight retired by Slapa, who is cruising now through 3. We go to the 4th, 13-0 the Mustangs lead. This is Mustang Baseball live on Tradio. Luke Esquivel leading off here in the 4th. 13-0. Grapevine leading. First pitch, strike 1 of the inside corner to Esquivel. And a new pitcher, Tristan, is on the mound for Arlington Heights. So he takes over from Norris. We tried to figure out exactly what's going on with who Grapevine will play, whether it's Brewer or Chisholm Trail, and we solved nothing as it pertains to Texas high school baseball during the break. Ball and 2 strikes. Michael Dixon, Jeff Knipper, Trey Bell, our entire crew. Here's a ground ball rocketed to first, and Harris is there, takes it himself. 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning. Do we have an update from that game, or is it still, you said it was 1-1?
Yeah, still 1-1 going to the bottom of the 6th inning. So they're looking at another tight finish. Yeah, you mentioned Tuesday night, it was a 2-1 ball game.
First pitch, strike one on the outer half to Zach Goldstein. Or no, we've got. Looks like Jack Swinson is hitting for Grapevine. Oh no, sorry, Papadakis. So he's on in the spot of Goldstein. And found back to the screen. Now, both teams seem to be emptying out the bench a little bit. Outcome of the game, obviously, pretty much decided. Chance to get some at-bats for guys like Papadakis, who's down looking. So 2 outs, and Tristan looks pretty good here on in relief.
Yeah, that was a good curveball right there to get the strikeout by Tristan.
So here is Jorvorskie Lane Jr. 1 for 2 with a single, 2 walks.
I stand corrected. That mitt in his back pocket is red. He usually has a white mitt, so he changed colors on me.
Yes, I believe Trey's asking.
We have an admission of.
Trey's asking me if I heard you admit that you do think it was a red base running mitt.
I see it in his.
Yeah.
Back pocket now.
Two balls and no strikes. And a fastball right down the middle.
Yeah, the board's got 2-1.
And it won't matter because it's lifted over into left field, and another base hit for Jorvorskie Lane Jr. He's going to try to make this a double. Throw comes in, tag is down, he's out. So a single, he's thrown out trying to stretch that into a double, and it's the final out in the 4th inning. Tristan faces the minimum. We go to the bottom half of the 4th, 13-0, the Mustangs lead. This is Mustang Baseball live on Tradio.
New pitcher for the Mustangs, Caleb Evans. And Caleb has not pitched a whole lot here in the district season, but you never know from his numbers that he's been used sparingly. He's pitched 23 2/3 innings this year. Of course, he hits the first batter, but has only allowed 1 earned run in those 23 2/3 innings. And quite honestly, the base on balls, I think, are one reason we haven't seen more from Caleb over the last month. He has walked 11 guys in those 23 innings, but he was outstanding in the tournament season. Had a 14-inning stretch, I believe, of no hits allowed So I really felt like he would be one of the top guys out of the pen, but just haven't seen a whole lot of him lately.
Well, you can see that that struggle with the command. He hits Reyes and very nearly hits Soto. He's got the frame of someone you don't want to face. He's a big body out there.
Yeah, wiry, probably 6'1", really throws downhill, just losing that fastball inside right now.
That's a good one on the outside corner. We were bringing up the graphics during the break, and somebody had said .296. I said, like with a 0 point, not 296, but 0.296. Yep. 1 earned run allowed.
Yeah, in 23 2/3 innings. Hasn't shown it yet, but has a really good slider.
Had 2 straight no-hitters.
Correct. Correct.
It's pretty good.
Back in the tournament season where, at least on paper, looked like the tougher part of our schedule.
And I called strike 3.
Yeah,
so
that's
the
that
breaking
nasty slider right there that just froze the hitter.
Well, that is the 5th strikeout for Grapevine pitching tonight. Slapa had 4, and now Evans has his first. There is 1 out in the 4th, and here comes Cole Morris. Or check that. This has been Harris. And first pitch grounder, left side. Nice pick by Esquivel and a strong throw on the run. 2 down here in the 4th.
Yeah, good play right there. Lale had to make that play. I don't think Connor could get to it and get it out, so kind of have to sell out right there and pick it on a short hop right there like Lale did.
Here comes Matthew Ramirez, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Runner at second, 2 down. Evans is trying to work around the first pitch that grazed Reyes, and he's at second base. I mean, the pitch there had Ramirez backing out of the right-handed batter's box and didn't miss the inner part of the strike zone by much.
Yeah, I just noticed we had another position change. Luke is now playing first base, and I believe that's Jack Swinson out in left field. So Nomar gets the rest of the night off, at least defensively. And we've got Jack Swinson now playing left field.
2 down, runner at second, 13-0. Grapevine leading here in the bottom of the 4th. Swing and a miss. 2-1.
Caleb's averaging better than a strikeout per inning, so not surprising seeing him dominate the hitters right here. And again, it's just been his control that has the only explanation I can give you that he hasn't pitched more, at least in the district season.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. And a foul tip from Ramirez to stay alive.
Caleb is only a junior, so I do expect to see a whole lot of him on the hill next season as a senior.
Two.
Oh,
called
there
strike
it
3.
is.
Big time hook. And Matt Ramirez down looking. Grapevine with a 12. Check that 13-0 lead as we go to the top of the 5th. All Mustangs in Fort Worth here tonight. This is Mustang Baseball Live on Radio. All right, we go to the 5th inning. And Cash Kircher is leading off, so hitting in the place of Lale Esquivel. Going outside, ball 1.
We do have a score update out of Granbury. Granbury has taken a 2-1 lead, so if that score holds up, the Mustangs will face Chisholm Trail in the first round of the playoffs. And Granbury is still hitting in the bottom of the 6th inning with runners at 2nd and 3rd, so they are possibly looking to pick up another insurance run.
Pitch on the outside corner, called a strike. I think that was a fortuitous strike call. Saldana takes over. Left-hander slinging it in. And a breaking ball just a little bit low. So Kircher, who has seen a lot of time this year, but primarily running, getting a chance to swing it here in this 5th inning with Grapevine leading 13 love. 2-2. Top tip at the plate.
Cash is sporting the blinged up cleats. Yeah, Cash is a catcher. We see him take infield with the Mustangs every game. Usually Gianni is warming up the pitcher, so see a lot of him pregame at catcher. Haven't seen much in live action of him behind the plate, but have seen him running a lot.
Well, he's down looking to start the 5th. Good pitch there from Saldana. So a clean 4th inning from Tristan. Here's Gianni Corral. 1 out, nobody on, 13-0 in the top of the 5th. First pitch outside for ball 1. All right, a breaking ball, strike number 1 on the outside corner. Corral in this game is 2 for 3 with a couple of singles, a couple of RBIs, 2 runs scored. 13 runs on 16 hits for Grapevine. 1-1. Breaking ball missed high, 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, Mustangs are definitely raising some batting averages tonight.
Yeah.
Goldstein has 2 hits. Gianni's got 2 hits. Connor Ray's got 3, and Torres has got 3. And now, wow, they robbed Gianni of his 3rd hit.
I think that was Lee out there and right. And they're giving him a shot out here. That was a very nice play. Took over for Tristan when Tristan came in to pitch. So, well done. Hit hard, but Corral is loud second out here in the 5th. Here comes now Connor Ray, who is 3 for 3 with 3 extra base hits.
Yeah, nice play out there, and I got to applaud these fans. Nobody's left despite the lopsided score.
First pitch lifted foul out of play.
Well, let's see if Connor can get his 6th straight hit. First left-hander he's faced.
Rolls this to second. Tricky play for Reyes, but he makes it. And 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 5th. So last chance for Arlington Heights, trailing 13-0. We go to the bottom of inning number 5. This is Mustang Baseball live on Tradio. All right, last chance for Arlington Heights to keep this game alive. It's 13-0. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Tristan, Vargas, and Calvillo. First pitch from Evans is high ball 1. Tristan, the right fielder, 0 for 1. He popped to the first baseman back in the second. 7 in the first, 3 in the second, 3 in the third. 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. It was a good inning there in the 4th from Evans after he hit Reyes with a pitch. First pitch of the 4th. Struck out Soto. Harris grounded out, and Ramirez struck out looking. 1-1. High chopper right back to the mound. And a lob from Evans over to first. Tristan retired. 1 away here in the 5th.
Yeah, we got a good view of Caleb's fastball, and it's definitely got some tail in on the right-hander, almost to the point of I'd set up on the outside corner if I was Gianni and just have him tail it back over the outside corner, but also going to jam a lot of guys when he's on that inner half.
First pitch, ground ball towards second base. And a chest tie grab by Newton. Fires the first. 2 down here in the 5th.
And we do have a final score in Granbury. Granbury wins 2-1.
So we think that means that Grapevine will play Chisholm Trail in round 1 next week. We think.
We believe that is the case, but we have been wrong before.
Looks like Nunez, the pinch hitter, standing in, takes outside from Evans. Last chance for Arlington Heights in a 13-0 game. 1-0. And it's low. 2 balls, no strikes. Two-0. Inside, ball 3. And of course, it'll come down for Grapevine to whether or not an opponent can get them twice. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Strike 1 on the outside corner. That will be a very, very difficult thing to do. Now the 3-1. It's high for ball 4, 2-out walk, so that ends a run of 5 straight Yellowjackets retired by Evans. And 2-out walk keeps this 5th inning alive for Hernandez.
Yeah, Mustangs 1 out from ending the game right now.
First pitch, strike 1 on the outer half to Hernandez. 0 for 2 in the game.
Yeah, I've noticed that Lale really hugs that line. I'm not sure. I guess it's easier to go to your left and make the play.
Well, now Heights down to its final strike. Again, they've got a big one tomorrow against Pascal. Both teams finished 11-1 in district, and they were 1-1 against each other. So got to figure out who finishes first in terms of playoff seeding. 0-2. And lifted in the air, shallow left. Here comes Swinson. Ray back from short, and it's out of Ray's reach. So it's a bloop single from Hernandez. And now Arlington Heights with a couple of 2-out base runners. And
Connor went a long
Arguello.
ways. I thought he might get to that ball. He actually got a glove on it. It is a base hit, but would have been a heck of a play. And Jax had no shot at it. So it was Connor going to have to make the play, or nobody make the play.
Arguello 1 for 2. 13-0 in the bottom of the 5th. And strike 1 up in the zone. Well, Grapevine one out away from finishing the regular season 28-3, 12-0 in district. Of course, this doesn't impact the district record in any way, shape, or form. Swing and a miss from Arguello, and once again, Evans is a strike away. And we do believe that it'll be Grapevine and Chisholm Trail in round 1. We've been wrong before, but pretty sure that is the situation. 0-2. Ground ball over to short. This should do it. Ray, he'll go over to third, and that is it for tonight's game. That is it for the regular season. Grapevine with an emphatic 13-0 win here tonight. They finished the year 28-3, 12-0 in district, and now they'll turn their focus to the first round of the playoffs and another run for a state championship.
Yeah, we talked about maybe getting some hitters going tonight, going into the playoffs, and the Mustangs did that in a big way. 16 hits, and a couple of guys that had big nights. I think definitely needed those. Zach Goldstein's been hot, but he had 2 hits tonight. Jorvorskie Lane's been hot. We mentioned those last night. He had 2 hits. Gianni Corral had 2 hits.
Yep.
Connor Ray, he had a big night last night, but comes back and backs it up tonight with 3 hits, and Nomar Torres 3 hits. So just a Mustangs cruise to victory. Pitchers do a great job, and yeah, looking forward to next week. Most likely, we believe Chisholm Trail, but whoever it is, the Mustangs will be ready, and I like their chances.
All right, for Jeff Knipper, everybody on our crew here at Radio, including Trey Bell, the executive producer, and a big thanks to everybody here at Arlington Heights for making things as easy as possible. I'm Michael Dixon. The Mustangs in the regular season with a 13-0 win. Up next, the playoffs. Until next week, so long from Fort Worth.